Plank. Presented by Jeep continues right now on ABC Action News Now.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back here to the second segment of the Plank tonight. T. Korun along with Jon Sabol as we continue on, and now it's time to talk about those Minnesota Vikings.
The Vikings,
a team
yes.
that hasn't won around Raymond James Stadium in some time. In fact,
I think
never.
No, I think they've won one game.
Not one game.
Not one game?
I don't believe there was one game.
Wow.
We'll have to check with a guy that's in the know, though.
Well, let's do it.
Okay, let's go to Mark Craig, who joins us. He is the Vikings beat writer for the Minneapolis Star Tribune. I appreciate it, Mark. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind being the Buccaneers beat writer in December or January.
Yeah, you know, you're not the first person that mentioned something. I ran into somebody from Kansas City today, and they said the same thing. Hey, listen, I guess things might be looking a little bit better for you on the offensive line this week. Is Sullivan going to get the green light to play?
Yeah, he was limited today. He passed his concussion protocol, so he'll play. He helps, although their backup is pretty good. And at right guard, the guy they lost was already a backup, so they were down to a third-string guy who's actually Mike Harris is a tackle who had never played guard before. So they kind of gambled, and they put seven linemen up, and then two got hurt on the same play.
Well, Mark, you talk about Sullivan maybe coming back now after passing that concussion test, but that's like a good news for you guys. But overall, the offensive line this year has been a big struggle for the Vikings, giving up a lot of sacks. And Matt Khalil, your fourth pick overall in 2012, has really given up some of those sacks. I was reading somewhere that he's given up about 7 or 8 sacks this year. Is that a big concern for you guys going into this game?
Yeah, it's been a concern every week. Especially when you play Detroit with their front line, and the Bills were Jerry Hughes was a really good pass rusher. Each week, that was the one in 2012 when they made that 4th overall pick. The feeling was, you pick this guy and you don't even talk about him for 10 years, and they're 12 years. Well, we spent a lot of time talking about him the last 2 years. He just hasn't lived up to it. He had a good rookie year and has not progressed from that point on.
Well, Mark, if you think about it, the Bucs haven't sacked someone in 2 weeks, so I guess you could say they're about due.
2 weeks or 2 years? It's one of the two.
It feels that long.
Yeah. But let me ask you how about Teddy Bridgewater? How about that kid? Are you seeing some flashes out of him that you think that he might be a quarterback that's going to turn this Vikings offense around here?
Yeah, I mean, at this point it's so early, but you get a feeling that he's got some poise into him that's beyond what we ever saw with Christian Ponder. So that's not really saying a whole lot. But when he came into New Orleans in a tough situation when Castle broke his foot, you saw some poise, you saw some encouraging things, and actually helped keep him in the game. And then against Buffalo or against Atlanta, I'm sorry, he looked extremely good. But I think we're finding out that Atlanta is not a very good team, not a very physical team. They were able to put up over 500 yards of offense and really ran the ball well, and Teddy wasn't, hassled at all. So, and then what's confusing to me is the week before that is when Atlanta destroyed the Buccaneers, and then the Vikings basically manhandled the Falcons, and but we've seen some good things from Teddy, but I think some of this, like the Buffalo, there's a throw where you're reminded that he's a rookie and he will throw something that he probably shouldn't.
Yeah, Falcons definitely a team that's been the epitome of inconsistent after what they did to the Buccaneers, and then obviously you guys went ahead and beat them. Looking at your offense, besides the offensive line, ranking last in a lot of statistical categories, Mark, I know there's been a lot of change in the quarterback position, talking about Bridgewater, but in order to get some consistencies going here for the Viking offense, in your mind, is it all set on Bridgewater? I know you have Adrian Peterson not there, but you have McKinnon stepping in, who's actually played pretty well lately.
Yeah, I mean, everything that happens this year may get forgotten. I don't know. I mean, Adrian was one of the faces of the NFL, so it shouldn't get forgotten. But people tend to forget that everything from the salary cap to the offense to even how the defense is built. I mean, this whole franchise was built around and Adrian Peterson, and he was just ripped out, away from him after that one game. So even though, you can look at statistics, cold statistics, and say they're running the ball, compare their rushing total to last year. Well, that doesn't factor in how defenses played them. I mean, defenses, when Adrian's in the game, we're all at the line of scrimmage, and the hope was that, Castle or Bridgewater in time would take advantage of that, and it would become this combination that would be, that would really work out. And, you don't have Adrian, so you don't have that attention to the run, which kind of snowballs into now you're not seeing Cordero Patterson as involved because, he's not getting open. So everything was built around Adrian, and they're kind of trying to, feel their way out of this because he's not going to play the rest of this year.
One thing, Mark, is with this football team here, we expected the Buccaneer defense to be really the catalyst to try to drive this team at least the first half of the season while the offense got their act together. Well, we're finding out that this Buccaneer defense, for one reason or another, it can't cover in the cover two. With Minnesota, though, it seems to me as if because thankfully you've got a defense with the Vikings, because without that defense, you might not have those 3 victories that you have right now.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive philosophy here was the Tampa 2 from 2006 until last year. And when they had, the defensive line was at its peak and playing extremely well with Jared Allen, and you had the 2 Williams tackles in the middle. I mean, it was a really good defense, but whenever they lost that they got a little bit older on that defensive line, then the cover 2 doesn't work. So for whatever reason, it's not working down there. It's a defense that's really, they need to have those front 4 guys be playing extremely well for the coverage to work. And up here, it's a completely different defense now. But you also saw some similar last week in Buffalo was very similar to 2013 in that the last 3 minutes of the game, the Bills went right down the field, converted a 4th and 20, converted a 3rd and 12, converted 2nd and 20, and then won with a touchdown at the last second of the game. So different defense, but it looked an awful lot like last year at the end of last week's game.
Right, and I apologize. I think I gave you 3 victories. You have 2.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But
they thought they had them, but
don't feel bad about losing to Buffalo. I think Buffalo's a pretty good football team.
And with all the injuries they've had,
is good.
Yeah,
and they've had a lot of injuries, and they've overcome some of that adversity.
But now Minnesota, they haven't won in Ray J's ever.
Actually,
the last
correction, 1997, I believe.
But that was not Ray J.
But in Tampa Bay.
They did. No, they have won in Tampa, but they never won at Ray J. And the last time was it 2007, Mark, or 2001? When was it?
My notes say 97.
I got the last time the Vikings beat Tampa was in 2001, which was played in Minnesota. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's been 6 in a row or something. I'm not.
6 games
all
straight.
I know is there's no one left here from that team.
Listen, I remember the last time when I was traveling with these knuckleheads, and we went up there, and it was like in the middle of December, and it was snow outside, and the guys just lost the football game. This was a game that you guys won, and that's back when Dante Culpepper threw for about 700 million yards to who was that wide receiver? Randy Moss.
Randy Moss.
Yeah, Randy Moss.
Yeah, I remember first play is from scrimmage, went for 84 yards. And I'm watching these guys, and they're outside. This is the Buccaneer team. They just lost, and they're out there having a snowball fight. All right? That's what you're dealing with. All right? How about your guys? Now they're coming down in the heat. What do you think? What do you think? Is it going to play any factor into this game at all? And what do you think is going to happen on Sunday?
Well, I mean, what is it supposed to be? Mid-80s or what?
I'd say mid-80s. No clouds.
Humid.
Humid would be about what 80%. Yeah. 80% humidity. If I were you, Mark, I'd get on a plane right now and come down here because it's just gorgeous.
Well, I'm coming tomorrow morning. My brother's got a place down there. I'm playing some golf. But
nice.
Yeah, despite the national perception, we're not, there's not 4 feet of snow up here year round. So it's 70 today. So, I don't. Maybe the heat plays a factor a little bit, but I wouldn't think at this point. Maybe if it was later in the year, but I don't know. When I look at this game, I can't get over the fact that because I saw them play and just absolutely maul the Falcons. I always like the home teams, and I like the fact they got. It looks like the Bucs are getting healthier and coming off a bye week. But I look at what happened, how they played against the Falcons, and I think the Vikings are going to win. But honestly, do any of us have any idea what's going to happen?
We don't.
Week to week in this
No,
league?
we don't. We got the Sabol teams in the National Football League. We have no clue who's showing up. We don't know what personality. We don't know what's up.
Yeah, and the weeks that we pick the Bucs to win, they lose. Tom and I.
I think you could probably do that just about every NFL market right now. Seattle, Dallas. I mean, I thought Dallas would be one of the worst teams in the league based on how they looked last year and what they had coming back and got rid of. And so, I mean, that's what makes it so popular, I guess.
Yeah, Mark, it's definitely a strange year in the NFL this year.
Yeah, where are you playing golf?
Lake Trevita.
Lake Trevita, nice place. You'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy that. Yeah, it's a great. Both courses are good. So for 536.
I've been going down there for a while. Playing those in February. But it just kind of makes me angry when I get home and I got to look at all the how much winter I got left, though.
I understand. Listen, somebody's got to do it, though, Marco. Listen, I appreciate it. Thanks for the time, and enjoy your golf here, and enjoy your stay in Tampa. And maybe I'll run into you. I'll look for you in the press box on Sunday.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Mark Craig joining us, who was the Minneapolis Star Tribune Viking beat writer.
Yeah.
Those are long titles.
Oh, long
Way.
They're getting longer, too.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
I think we have a promo.
Yes, we do. Who's going to be walking the plank this week for the Buccaneers? Last week, we had Leslie Frazier,
Who do you
the
want to
defensive
walk
coordinator.
the plank?
Yeah, now it's the time in the show. We're going to be taking your phone calls up until 8 o'clock, 813-367-0171.
I look like a schmo.
You should see. You haven't seen the promo yet. You haven't seen it. You weren't here last week. So you got to see what Tom does on the
I
on the
can't
plank.
imagine what I do.
I have
what
some,
do I dance like, some kind of ballerina up there
I
or
have some
something,
great
or what?
moves, I'm not going to lie. Some great
You have
moves.
some what?
Great moves on the plank.
Oh, you have great moves.
You'll see it coming up.
Is this age discrimination?
I mean, I've seen you dance. You're not bad.
Well, it depends on what I'm dancing for.
That's true. But yeah, we want to hear what you guys have to say on who should the Bucs walk the plank this week. Coming up here, we're going to tease that towards the end of the show. And,
and that's the number to call, 813-367-0171. So, see this? Again, give us a holla.
Yeah.
All right? I want to hear from you. You know what? I've really come to, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this.
Go for it.
Okay?
Let's hear it. Don't hold
You're
back.
all lazy. Okay? Get off your ass and dial it. Okay? You're lazy. I mean, come on. In my day, we didn't have the little tweeties and the little whatever you call it. All right? You actually had to call up and say, hey, listen, you got to tell somebody what you felt. So you might think I'm a jerk now, so give me a call and tell me.
Right.
All right?
I want to hear that. It's going to make some great
I'll have no problem getting it on. All right, we're back.